What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and put it go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Um this is put a ring on in episodes season 2 episode 7. I'm gonna just tell y'all, listen, I don't have a whole lot for y'all this episode because I was just waiting to get to the end. I don't even think I paid attention to what happened because I knew they was gonna make me wait to the end to get to this last conversation. But let's go ahead and get through the rest of what we gotta get through. So Sean and Dr. Nicole, they had to have a little showdown at the beginning, and Dr. Nicole had to let him know, listen, you are running from this experience. Like, I understand what you're saying, that you're like, listen, I ain't really trying to get to know these people for real, because I already know me, and I don't trust me. So rather than totally immerse myself in this experience, I'm just going to go through the motions, but I'm going to run. Um, and Dr. Nicole was like, you need to allow yourself to process through it, because at the end of the day, if you do fail, then are you really ready to take that next step? But you are shortchanging yourself if you're not allowing yourself to be in the moment and feel and work through the process. So he agrees to do it, but basically what Sean said, he let us know, listen, I've never been faithful, because I meet a new woman and it's something about her that's new and it's exciting and it's different, and I feel like I need to immerse myself in that moment and experience it, and I don't want to do that to LaRonda because I love LaRonda and she is everything I ever thought I wanted, so I don't want to open up Pandora's box. So I respect where Sean is coming from, but I do see what Dr. Nicole is saying. But I just feel like if he know who he is, and he listen, um LaRonda is going on a second date with her guy. Jessica's going on a third date with her dude. Eric is going on a second date with his chick. Listen, cause these people, I don't care. Um, Lexi ain't going on a date with nobody. Dr. Nicole said, listen, you need to work on yourself, work on your relationship with Darian, and Darian is going to have a sit down closure situation with Miss Kai. Listen, like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest with y'all. I really didn't pay that whole much attention to the rest of the shit. Now, when old girl showed up for her date with Eric, Jessica, we saw the jealous side of Jessica come out. Now, Jessica claimed that she was only giving Darren a little taste of his own medicine, and she was only, being shady and catty because he had, been shady and catty with her little date the week before. But I don't think so. I think she really meant that thing. I think she was really feeling some kind of way, and she was really in her feelings, okay? And then she gonna take out some shot glasses with her ass half naked, talking about something. Well, let's take a shot. Let's take a toast, a shot to the date. And of course, it was awkward as hell. But you know what? What I love is Eric's date was like, when he asked her later, he was like, "I'm sorry, that I know that was a little awkward." She was like, "Nah, I'm good. Like, I don't even deal with insecurity like that. Like, if that's what she felt like she had to do, it's whatever." So they went on their date, and again, I feel like I told y'all before, I just feel like Eric and Jessica need to break up. Like, I know I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm only getting a glimpse of their situation. I get it. I respect that. But I just feel like anyway, I'm gonna get back to them. So then we had Smoke and we had Lexi, and they were in the house and they were talking, and they were having some conversations about relationships and things of that nature, and working on where they needed to be. I forgot that part. Dr. Nicole gave them a task, and their task was to really talk about what marriage looked like for them. Like, what does that look like for you? And so that's what the two of them were talking about. What does marriage look like? And he was like, I don't want us to lose the fun. I want us to keep up the cuddling. I don't want it to feel like it's work. And of course, Lexi was saying, this is something we never really had this conversation before. We never really talked about what marriage looked like for each one of us. And she said that she really just needs support. She needs to make sure that he is there, like, when I have a bad day, I need you to be the one that I can talk to. I want you coming home every night. She said, we getting rid of the condo, so you don't have that excuse. I want you coming home every night. And I'm just thinking, well, damn, I don't know if you, like, is that, you got to tell him that. I want you to come home every night. That's something that you put in your must-haves for your marriage. Come home every night. Girl. Now, Dr. Nicole and Jessica had a one-on-one, and they talked about her guard being up. And she was saying how Eric doesn't make her feel comfortable enough to let her guard down. And they explored the fact that this comes from her childhood, where she always had to fight. She always had to have a wall up. She had a difficult childhood, and that sort of evolved into her adulthood. And that's what she's learned. And that Eric hasn't done anything to sort of make it easier, Now, so basically, Dr. Nicole helped her work through what she needed to work through, to understand that she keeps this wall up. And it's hard for Eric to get through it, because he's sort of, keeping her, blocked off, but she's keeping him blocked off. Sean went on his second date, and even though he enjoyed the date, he was like, listen, at the end of the day, I don't want to date nobody else. I only want to date LaRonda. That's it. That is all. They did have a good conversation where he sort of was open about the fact that he was a cheater. Like, we could dress it up all we want. He was a cheater. Okay. But he said at the end of the day, I don't want to date nobody else. Like, this is cool and all, but I don't want to date nobody else. Okay. Now, Eric went to the wine. He took his date to the wine cellar. And again, they had a real nice date. And for my liking, they was a little too touchy-feely to my liking. They was all rubbing hands and getting all close. And listen, it was a good date. But it was a little too good of a date. I don't know. So then Dr. Nicole had a one-on, well, it wasn't a one-on-one, it was a 3-on-1, I guess. She met with the guys, and she had a conversation with them about being vulnerable and being, allowing themselves to show their emotions and be vulnerable to their women. And they had some really good conversation about, that's just not what they're taught. They're taught that if you show emotion or you show vulnerability, then you weak, and man up and be a man about it. And they not lying. That is what, especially, I'm going to say black men, that they're, stop crying. Boys don't cry. You all right? Get up. Shake it off, And so she was like, if you open yourself up and you show your vulnerability to your woman and she throws it back in your face, then it's inappropriate on her part. And it's usually because it's a bigger issue, or it's an issue coming from her. So they were able to have a conversation about that, and about, again, looking past what our women show us. They show us that they're hard because they've had to be. They show us that wall because somebody made them put that wall up, And so I felt like it was a good conversation that she had with them, So then Darren and Dr. Nicole had a conversation about, his relationship with Lexi. And basically she told him, listen, y'all have been on this circle. Y'all been doing this circle thing. And she may no longer want to do, she said, the treadmill with you. Y'all just running in place. She might be ready to do something else. And she has a right to get off the treadmill and do something else. But you either need to, basically, she said, poop or get off the pot. But if she decides to get off the pot before you're ready to get off the pot, you got to let her go. Because if you're not giving her what it is that she's telling you she needs and what she's telling you she wants, you can't be selfish in that. You got to let her have that. And so that was a good one. So then we saw him meet up with Kai. And this was the moment all of us were waiting for, because they teased us with this in the previews for the week. And of course, I knew they was going to wait to the last minute. I knew they was going to make it, build it up and build it up. And basically, he's letting her know, listen, I want this, basically, and he hemmed and hawed, but he basically told her, this is like, we're going to have to end this. I want to focus on my relationship. And she was like, why haven't I heard from you in 2 weeks? Why haven't you talked to me in 10 days? You just ghosted me. What's that about? And again, she's way too possessive for this to be a situation where she's going on a couple of dates for a TV show. Like, she's clearly invested for whatever reason that she's invested. And so she was like, basically, so what you saying is I just got to take one for the team? And he was like, yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying. She was like, well, did I take one for the team when you slept with me? Now, that's pretty much where it ended. He ain't deny it, but I'm not dumb enough to think that the conversation doesn't continue into the next episode. So I don't know what was said after that, but it is clear that the two of them were having ongoing conversations that were outside of the scope of the show, that was outside of the scope of what Lexi knew. It is clear that they spent time together outside of those dates that we saw. And she felt like she was entitled to something, because she was acting like the girlfriend and that Lexi was the side chick, okay? So we're going to see how this goes next week. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.